picked up at the 25. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And one thing about a play like this, if it's slow to develop, it can turn out poorly. And this play was definitely slow in developing, and that was one heck of an effort to sprint over there and get the man down before he can make anything happen.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now it's 3rd and 3. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And he'll just get rid of it.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
3.5 to go, first quarter.
But Jackson going to hold on to it again.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Now that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained. And, in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's where they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I almost see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape for a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Dobbins, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Justin Tucker for the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. As this offense takes the field again, it's been a while since they've been out there. We just saw that long touchdown drive by the opposition. But remember, when this crew was out here last, Charles, they scored as well.
And let's make sure we give both offensive staff some credit, and especially the offensive coordinators, because we spoke with both of them in the lead up to this game, and both were really confident in their game plans. They felt like they had scouted their opponents and focused on specific areas in practice this week to make sure that they were ready to go. And frankly, it looks like they both did an excellent job.
Yeah, we'll see if those game plans can keep this streak of touchdowns going here. That one caught downfield by Watson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. These two teams all tied after one. Rodgers now on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The Packers had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Caught on the right side by Jones.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones 28 yards. And the Packers have moved out in front. Now Zerline on and the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Offense set at the line for this next drive. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. Eric Stokes in on the tackle.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Another run here with Dobbins. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
The Ravens on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4.
And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Just a gain of a couple there, and that'll make it 2nd down. On the counter now, it's Dobbins. And the defense closes quickly there, and he'll get maybe a yard to the 33. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Jackson. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back.
Down the numbers. There he goes. The 20. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Throwing is Jackson. And his throw here is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Here's Jordan Stout now. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Drops it to Jones in the flat.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Rodgers going to throw. And it's a Packers touchdown. Romeo Doubs, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week.
Nigga, what you said?
Something about that home opener.
What you fucking said?
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it.
Man, you shut so stupid ass up.
The field's the same, size. We know all of that.
Fuck, man.
Being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that
Shut the fuck up, man. You get on the mag stage, man. You, what you 13 or something? Right, stupid ass nigga. Fuck.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes.
Let's go find you somebody to play with like your mama, bitch ass nigga.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
3 scores down.
Stop all that fucking crying and quit the game at halftime. I don't want to hear all that pussy ass shit.
Figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. Open man is Duvernay.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
One of the best in the NFL, in no small part because of his running ability. But on that play, didn't match to the defense at all. Nice stop for them, a feather in their cap for getting the sack and brought down one of the toughest guys to catch in the NFL.
So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Now it's Jackson. Forced out to his left. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
I would say just add that one to the total of big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited about what they expect to see down the road.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson, he sets to fire deep. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Packers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing is Rodgers.
A check down here to Jones.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10.
Now it's Rodgers.
Throwing left side, and Watson has it.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Now this one complete downfield on the left side.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Lambeau Field, one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, no doubt. And they're a happy bunch here as the Packers lead.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown.
Jerron Johnson.
A 24-yard touchdown.
And the Packers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
And oh, he clanks it off the right upright. And it's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Dobbins, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Packers pick it up. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's having his troubles.
He finds his man, and the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. On the move, Pat, and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Goodness, nobody wanting to hold on to that football. 2 fumbles, one by each team on the same play. Not something you see every week.
No. Shut your crybaby ass up, bitch.
Possessions are nowadays in the NFL because there's not much difference between teams. So when you get a chance for a takeaway, you've got to hold on to the football yourself. Don't give it right back to him.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And this one is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
I'm all that fucking fun, man. All that fucking fun you doing.
Where we stand right now,
stupid ass nigga, man. I'm out here that puss ass shit. Quit the fucking game and shut the fuck up.
The self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers.
Stupid ass.
You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session.
What the fuck you running, man? Stupid ass nigga.
They got to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This will use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play.
You can say he running. He's so fucking simple and stupid.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. With Sean Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here we go. It's Jackson on fourth down. Bateman's got it on the crossing route here. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Rodgers now on first down.
Eyes the crossing route and hits Watson.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That's good for 28 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game.
Well, make your custom playbook and shut the fuck up.
Confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in.
Fuck you crying about it for? Well, you can do the same thing, dumbass nigga.
On first down, Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Jones. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Things are rocking.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above.
So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. Rodgers will throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson. Packer pressure, and down he goes. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.